Welcome to the actionpixels.com Pixel Plays. Today we are playing the Banner Saga. I'm Armo Iqbal and this is Stuart Young.
Hello.
This is a bit of a favourite of ours.
Yeah, we both played this through to completion.
Yeah, I'm on my third playthrough. And you'll see why it's kind of so readily replayable when we dive in right now.
So it's a sort of a strategy, a turn-based strategy game played on a grid.
Oh yes, so
with RPG elements.
We're starting a little way into the game. I think this is chapter 3. Essentially, it's a very Norse fantasy story. You are in this mystical realm where the enemy known as the Dredge is attacking your kingdom, and you are a caravan walking along trying to survive. Right, let's get into a fight.
It's got very nice animation in this game. Looks very much like a sort of classic, sort of almost a bit like Disney style animation.
Yes, very true. Gonna charge into battle. Right.
So as you can see, I'm carefully selecting some strategic options there, with a great deal of.
I just go in for the kill, really.
Yeah.
Send my biggest and baddest up front. So you can choose this is essentially your party. And you can choose which members of your party you want for this particular battle. I've been focusing on a handful just to level them up. So let's get straight into it.
It's got a bit of that sort of XCOM dilemma in it, which is, do I carry on with my best guys and keep leveling them up and risk becoming a one-man team? Or do I spread the experience around and try and train up people who aren't as good to the next level?
Exactly.
So it's all sort of played on this sort of almost chessboard-like grid. The larger characters here are called Vals. These are this sort of mythical race of these sort of horned giant dudes. And then the little lady at the back there
is a human.
Is a human, indeed.
Very recognisable human. It's all a grid-based system. Essentially, each character has an armour value and a health value, which is also the same as their strength. So you have to decide whether you're going to chip away at their armour or make sure they can't attack you as hard. And it's all turn-based. So one of my character goes and one of their character goes. It's very, very engrossing.
So the idea is to try and get away from the sort of typical RPG or strategy paradigm of just attack the weakest unit and get rid of all their health, because you're trying to make this choice between, do you want to focus on getting rid of their armour, which will make them easier to damage in the future, or do you want to try and go straight from the kill? And generally the best strategy is to get their armour down to pretty low and then finishing them off in a couple of blows.
But then when one of your big units like this one comes against one so small, so I can straight away attack his health. Do 7 damage, he's not going to be able to do much damage to me.
So he'll be a quick sort of speedy kill.
His big buddy's coming in.
There's also a bit of a sort of there's a risk-reward thing against getting rid of smaller units like that weaker unit, because the enemy, I believe, have the same amount of turns, even if it'll just mean that the bigger ones will get to go first, if you know what I mean. So sometimes it's an advantage to trying to weaken your enemy's general strength and keep them alive. It doesn't always work. There is still a little bit, I find, of probably too much favouring the simple strategy of hit the weakest unit and try and get rid of them.
So now I have the conundrum of I'm going to attack this big guy, but because his armour's so strong, I'm going to take out a lot of his armour. But then obviously he's going to be able to hit me back much harder than he would have if I'd gone for strength.
It's very straightforward for the health, which is also the attack value.
Luckily, this is quite an easy battle we've kicked off with.
But it kind of really, in this sort of turn-based way, does get across this sort of kind of very bludgeoning, slow, momentous feel to the combat.
It suits the story, doesn't it?
It does suit the story, which is all about this.
It's kind of a desperation war story where you're surrounded on all sides by an encroaching enemy, and
you're just on this long march trying to escape and get to the coast to get to the blue reinforcements. And it does have this very survival-like feel to it, even within these battle systems, which I think is really, a good quality of the game. It's something where the gameplay and the story really sort of complement each other and marry up.
I mean, what drew me to the game first was the artwork, which is gorgeous.
That's the hook, isn't it?
That is the hook, and the story's pretty good as well. Like, I was engrossed all the way through.
I'll get rid of that guy. He's charging. He's summoning reinforcements.
So I'm going to send my archer if I can actually hit him. Yes, I can.
So those little stars there, Amer's enhancing her abilities for one turn, giving her a sort of little extra boost using some of these. I think I can't remember what they're called. Stamina points, willpower points, which they're essentially your currency in terms of being able to do special stuff in the game. You slowly recharge them in battle. I think you might get an extra one every time you kill an enemy. There are various
there's ways
of building those.
But it just adds a nice tactical element too.
But it gives you another layer of tactics.
So the metagame above the battle system, which is obviously the main part, is you get renown, which you can use to buy supplies to keep going on your long march. Because if you run out of supplies, your men will start dying.
Yeah.
So you can, at the end of every option, at the end of every battle, have the option to kill a few more to get more renown. But obviously, you're balancing out your soldiers and whether you want them injured. So there's a lot to take into account, and that's why it's so replayable, because every playthrough, it's only a 6 or 7 hour game, but every playthrough is a little bit different.
What's also quite nice about it is that the decisions you make in combat affect the story.
Yes,
it's not just in a lot of games there is a little bit of this, but in a lot of games where there's a focus on making story decisions, it's really just a choice box. It's just an A, B, and C. Do you want to do the good thing? Do you want to do the bad thing? Or do you want to do It's not like that in this. This is a lot more grim, and the combat feeds into the story. There isn't a separation between the storytelling and the combat. They're not quite as segregated as they are in a lot of other similar games.
It's a very good game. There are a couple of things I could improve. Characters do have different classes, as it were, which means they have different special moves. Like I could do a special move called Bring the Pain with this fella, which will weaken some armor or something like that. But the actual differentiating, they're not so different among different characters. Like you more want to decide whether you're attacking armor or health, so it doesn't really matter what the special move is either. So hopefully the sequel, which is coming out very soon, will address that and make it a bit more of a tactical in terms of class system.
I also found that some of the classes were just pretty useless.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think it's particularly well balanced like that, but
I think that's actually quite a good thing, because you do have your favourite characters and your least favourite characters, but you can't always fight with your favourite characters.
Yeah.
So this is the meta game. We're marching along, as you can see. The top number 40, that's my renown, which I can use to buy stuff, and the bottom number, which is now 39, is my supplies. Yeah. So as the days tick on, as I'm marching along, we have to keep the supplies up. The smiley face in the middle is how happy my troops are. And we just have to keep everyone happy, keep everyone ticking along. And
it's a little like the Oregon Trail. That kind
yes,
of
exactly.
A light element
element
of that kind of gameplay on top of it. But the presentation of seeing your army sort of walk along the snowy hills with the banner behind them is...
So here we go, here's another story element. We've entered a settlement, trying to escape these dredge, this invading army from the north.
So the dredge are also interesting because they're not just orcs again or something like that. They're not just zombies. They seem to be this kind of almost robotic race.
They're
kind of like almost golem-like, stone-like sort of robots, or sort of some kind of homunculi.
It's a very different story to your typical fantasy, and it's more engrossing for it. This game doesn't end with a complete story. It's very much setting up a series, so hopefully the Banner Saga 2 will continue.
Which is one of my little bugbears, the fact that it's called the Banner Saga when really it should be called the Banner Introduction.
It's true, it's very much an introduction, and it's a world that can be built on, so really very much looking forward to these sequels as they come. Let's do maybe another fight, and the problem is I think these are masking loading screens, these kind of long walks. I mean, it's quite nice to take in, but they get like these are just a little bit too long.
I'm not sure if they're masking loading screens because there's not really that much to load. Maybe they are, but
yeah.
I don't know. I like these screens, and I think it sort of helps sell the game and the idea of you coming to a new place. It was quite momentous because of it.
And another thing I'd recommend is that the game's very different on different difficulty levels as well. I started on normal and then I went on to hard, and it was a very different experience. So there's a lot of replayability in the 6 hours. What's this mess about? Looks like a full-scale battle. That's what I imagine they sound like. Happened recently. But only Dredge bodies remain. Maybe we'll see something. I can't do this all day.
Maybe we'll see something from the tower.
On it.
And don't set up a camp or make a fire. We'll take a look and then get out of here before anything else goes wrong.
You mean...
No, he's got a little weedy voice.
You mean war wrong? That's good. We should voice this. It's not voiced.
It's not voiced.
Sadly.
I'm not sure if that's sad. I mean, no, you can imagine what they sound like in the head. They do have a good, even though it's not voiced, they do have a good sense of character.
They do,
the animation and the drawings are really nice and expressive.
So besides the marching area, you also have these... If you go to settlements, you'll have market and rest options, but you can see us levelling up our heroes here.
What is quite strange, actually, I didn't have this problem on the PC, but there seems to be quite a lot of loading screens for things that are very relatively trivial, like this screen that you wouldn't think they needed a whole loading screen to get to. Would
So
you?
as you see, not only does Renown buy supplies, but it also levels up your troops, so you have to decide who's going to level up. So I like this guy, he's a very good fighter, he can take out multiple troops. So I'm going to spend 20 Renown, which is an awful lot.
That's interesting, because I never played with this guy.
Oh, really?
I had a
Really?
totally
That's
different option. I played with the red guy a lot.
So let me explain. So this is the shield, his armour, which will protect him against damage. This is health and strength, which is really where the tactical... The more you take down someone's health, the more their strength weakens. But if they've got high armour, you won't be able to finish them off. So
sometimes it can be quite a good idea to leave somebody on 2 health, because they can't really do very much.
So I'm just going to make this guy very strong and very armorific, but I'm taking away most of his special abilities.
Armorific?
Armorific.
Isn't that
a new word?
I think it's a Beyonce record. It's the latest single, Armorific.
And I'm also going to level up Fasolt. Am I now? I'm going to level up my archer
Fasolt's a grumpy guy, I seem to remember.
Yeah, he is. And she obviously has low... She's basically useful just for her special ability, so I'm going to give her one more of those.
But she is, I'd say, probably the most capable archer.
Yeah.
It is good to take at least one archer in with you into the party.
Into battle. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save the levelling up other people for later. Oh, have I left? What I've done? I think I was meant to select that.
I don't know about you, but I generally found that as melee units, the humans are a bit useless. And
well, no, I've found them.
You've used the spear guys.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. Maybe you're playing to a high level of strategy than I.
Well, this is my 3rd playthrough.
Yeah, I've played the once.
So let's go up to the tower, start the new story, and we'll see how we get on.
The decisions and dilemmas you make in the story as well are quite interesting normally.
So let's switch someone out so we can get a new idea. So let's put Eric in, who is a bit of a wall. He essentially just stands in the way of other units.
Don't put Ludin in.
He's
an absolute. He's a bell end. Let's be honest.
That's his name, Ludin Bell.
Ludin Bell End, the heir to the throne.
Yes.
The throne of Belendria. That great realm.
That great realm. Long loading screens. Like, I'm surprised because it doesn't seem like there's
a lot to.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about that from a technical perspective is that there probably is quite a lot to load. 2D graphics take up a lot of memory.
Oh, I see.
So although they don't, wouldn't think of them as being advanced, this kind of high-res 2D stuff, there's probably quite a lot going into the memory of the console here.
So right at the start of the battle, you get to set out your troops as any good general would. You can survey the enemy. Again, quite an easy battle. There's not too many people here. I wonder if I'm on the right difficulty level. Yeah, I've done normal. So we're going to put our stone wall guy up front so he can just stand there. Then got a heavy hitter on both sides, and our archer lady always stands to the back because she will get clobbered in one hit.
Keep her behind somebody.
But she needs to be in range.
Ideally,
so
blocked off by 2 of those guys.
So ready, let's go. So we're going to send him up. End the turn there. These are there. So they've gone for my armour.
Yeah, so those slingshot guys are like their sort of archer equivalent.
Yeah.
They're their range unit, really.
Absolutely. Oh, he's immediately attacking.
And they are a pain.
Without, yeah.
They're normally quite good to get rid of quite early on, because even if they're on low health, they've got some pretty annoying special abilities.
They do.
So
it's a tricky one because I don't want to split my forces too much. Depends where that big guy heads, whether he goes left or right. So I'm going to send this guy left just in case.
Yeah, we've got 4 on the other side, so.
And he is coming down this way, so let's see what's okay. So I'm going to set this guy here. I'm going to put on stone wall. Oh no, he's the rally guy. I forgot. He's not the stone wall guy. Oh, that's a mistake on my part. But he can give people willpower, so we'll just leave him there.
Probably though, not the guy you wanted at the front.
Not the guy you wanted at the front there.
Okay.
So we'll take her and we boosted up our armor killing capabilities, so we'll just have her knock his armor off.
One of her really good powers is the ability to target armor directly, and power the targets in the armor.
Oh, but as you can see, as soon as you get, that's why the slingers are so
she's pretty squashy. Yeah.
But then we've cornered this guy with our strong.
Thankfully, there's only one big guy, and he's not doing too much damage at the moment. So if we can get rid of those slingshot guys in the next few turns, we should be all right.
But then another trick of the game is trying to keep your people alive as long as possible, because you don't know how many battles you're going to get in a row. So if you get 2 or 3 battles in a row, and all of your people are injured, then
it mixes it up as well. It's quite unpredictable like that. It's quite.
Luckily, we've blocked him off from coming in for an attack. So I'll send him up here.
Ooh.
Not what you would have done.
I would have moved him a little bit closer to the big guy to try and
draw
force him around, or at least to block him up a little.
We're going to send this guy around here now. Oh, who's he going to take out? Oh, luckily my armor prevented that. Might as well attack while we're... Who should we attack? This guy.
Is that guy?
Yeah, well...
Well, there's that guy on 2. We should have...
tried to kill him.
Get rid of him.
Right. Oh!
You get rid of the
11.
Oh, dear
now,
God.
The strength of that guy has been so severely depleted. It's going to be interesting. He's not going to be particularly useful now, so it's more a case of keeping him alive. So let's set fire to these guys.
Like I say, sometimes that is true, but on the other hand, sometimes they do have special abilities that are...
Because the big guy's got so much strength that it's actually a slightly more tricky battle than...
You need to get those guys to the right.
Send him up. Oh, she's nearly dead. But not quite. Maybe.
So, when we say dead, I think, is it true that they go into a sort of unconscious state and they get a wound after the battle?
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Along those lines?
Yeah,
so he'll be
the number of rest days, the number of days they need to rest for their injury, the number of health they need to recover, which is a lot. It can be like up to 6 days.
Is there? I can't remember. Is there actually permadeath for characters? I think there might be.
Yes, characters, but that's more from the story rather than from...
No, but as a consequence of gameplay, are there not some characters... I think some characters are protected, but I think some characters can permanently die. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't encountered that yet. There's many different story permutations.
So this is a pillage mode. So this is a little bit annoying as well. When you have just one enemy left, that enemy gets all of your enemies' turns.
Well, yeah, most of them, not quite all of them, but enough to be
the
annoying.
But the point is, if you've just defeated almost all the enemies, but your team is severely weakened, that last enemy can go on a suicide rampage and really mess the rest of your squad up.
Right. So should I try and take our health down?
I go for health because he's attacking you so badly on every turn.
Good point.
Let's just try and get his lethality down as much as possible.
Oh
dear, he's going for the squishy one.
That's okay though, I can do without her in the next battle. My Varl are the most important. And now my heavy hitters coming in to
Most
finish
important
the
of all. Okay.
That's it.
So I think we've won this battle. I can't remember this one. Is this one where?
This is one where we
I think
find
there may be
class,
maybe a two.
Another 2-prong attack. I think you might be right. Maybe we should play the other prong of this attack for a bit of fun. Victory!
You have indeed won the victory, and you've got some renown. So renown, like we say, is a currency for absolutely everything in this game.
You lean on a crumpled wall, watching endless waves of dredge. Oh God, I really hurt my voice.
Satisfied, Hagen? Mugor asks. The vast number of dredge remind you of the Great Wars. I've seen enough, you reply. Let's get out of here. Mogor stands over the bodies of the man and woman. Think the slag came up here for those two? Asks Mogor.
Any idea who they are? Oh, we found a man.
So,
the girl is dead.
Quick. We've got a man who's alive.
Oh, so now this is our second battle. So let's play this battle. Right, let's just go straight in. These options essentially, these options decide how many you face. But if you take a lesser option, such as oversee,
you get less
more of your men
advantages.
die.
Yeah. So you have to sort of, sometimes you have to press the advantage, sometimes it's best to retreat.
I always try to press the advantage, even if I lose the battle. You can lose battles, and
in this one, I wonder if I was making the right choice.
Because
given the fact
how many people are injured,
he's only got half of his team left.
So let's have a look who's available to us. Yep. Okay, so these. Okay, so I can do without him. Because she's not an attacking character. I can live with her.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that this was a situation where you could swap people out. That makes things slightly better, actually.
Okay, so let me swap him out because he is injured. And have.
So again, rather like XCOM. So if you think XCOM meets the Oregon Trail meets. I would say it is like a Disney animation, but I think it's more like if you've ever seen that sort of very old animated version of Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Yes,
it's got a little bit like that. Or,
very mature story. It's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Story.
Rather than being, it's not all cutesy sort of Disney.
No, not at all.
It's more like like some of those sort of animations are slightly more mature bent to them.
So I've sent the people that are not injured into battle, but these guys are of a lesser level. So it is going to be a harder fight. So I'm going to put my heavy... Okay, so she can go up here because her flame attacks will do a lot of damage. He's my heavy hitter, so I kind of want him... He's my highest level, so I want him in the thick of it. My two highest levels, which is the red fellow and this fellow, are going to be taking the brunt of the damage. Let's start with that and see what happens. Right.
So here I would say that the foes look slightly less formidable than the ones you were fighting last.
Maybe, but there are more of them. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to take this guy's strength right down. So he is much less of a threat. Also, the order they go in is very important. So I was lucky there that one of those big guys didn't go straight away. But here he comes, and he's going to do some damage, as expected.
Quite a large chunk of your health.
I've sent this guy too far away. That was a mistake in my setup. Oh, this he's so hurt he's going to try and summon another unit, which is always a good sign. Well, if he manages
it is generally a positive sign because you can normally finish them off before they do that. It is annoying if it happens, but I've had that happen very rarely.
What's this guy's special attack? So this is a special ability which might be useful in this case, called Battering Man. And what it does is it knocks back this unit and takes out...
Another slight criticism I have is that some of the special abilities are great, some of them are utterly useless. There's an archer character who has the ability to hit two targets that are directly lined up behind each other.
Yeah.
But you can only pull it off in the very rare occasions that happens and that both of those units are within range of your bow. So you get to use it. I think I never used it in the whole game, even though I was looking for opportunities, thinking this would be a great thing to do. I think I might have used it once or twice. It really wasn't very useful at all.
Well, this is the most useful one, in my opinion, the Slag and Burn. This creates this is excellent, an area that becomes painful for enemies to walk through.
So you can hit multiple enemies.
There we go.
One attack there.
Hurt everyone. I think this guy's going to get his reinforcing unit, unless I can kill him with this shot, which doesn't look too likely. No, but he's too high powered. So he is going to get another unit onto the field of battle. Unfortunately, they're surrounding my chieftain and they're going to try and mash him up. Sensible. What I would have done. Respect your opponent.
So again, we're weakening these archer characters so that their attacks aren't powerful.
Oh, I set this guy way too far away. That was a waste.
It's a pity you don't have the archer.
Oh, but he can come down there to take out this new guy that's turned up.
Okay.
So that's not.
So that is at least efficient.
Yeah. I'm actually going to send him over here to reinforce this area, and the other one can take on.
One thing that again is maybe something to perhaps consider for the sequel is that generally the fields of play are quite small.
Yeah, they could be big, couldn't they?
Yeah, and because of this dynamic whereby the big guys take up 4 squares and the humans take up 1 square.
Yeah.
That's deliberate and there is strategy to that, but at the same time it can be very, very irritating when somebody's stuck behind somebody and you're sort of going, oh come on, they're both my guys, why can't he just walk round? It seems a little bit irritating and a little bit forced.
Right. We're going to win this battle, we can kind of tell very early, but some people are going to get injured.
That guy, he's going down, isn't he?
Yes, but he can definitely do some damage,
Virtually, that guy's virtually neutralised now.
Oh, he's summoning as well.
So he needs to be got rid of. And it's odd. I do find it odd that they place an emphasis on not taking out the enemies in order and then introduce lots of mechanics which force you to do exactly that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, you know.
Oh, I'm not going to get to it.
I think they probably do that too much of the time for their original idea to really be as effective as it would be. It's odd. It's a little odd.
His armor's too high. I only have a 70% chance of hitting him, so I might as well try and take his armor down.
But this is the kind of game where, because they've set up lots of stuff in the story, that
I got him.
Very much looking forward to the sequel.
Oh, absolutely. Got him before Lucky. Oh, my main chieftain. Oh, I can set off another fire arrow before. Actually, no, I can't kill him.
Again, like you were saying, probably the most useful special attack in the game is this area of effect. Fire attack.
Got him. Excellent. Uh-oh. They're weakened now. They won't be able to take out too many.
As you can see, he only did 1 damage to the shield of our guy there.
Oh, only 40%. Oh dear. I might as well attack this fella. Okay. It's kind of one of those very drop-and-play games that I really enjoy. Something that maybe you could like listen to a podcast while you're playing as well.
Yeah, certainly on subsequent playthroughs.
Exactly.
I wouldn't for the first playthrough because there's lots of story things, and like I say, sometimes the battles do affect elements of the story. So you do want to be concentrating and trying to make sure all your guys survive and you get the best outcomes.
Yeah. But after that, it's kind of.
But yeah, for subsequent playthroughs, it's something where you can just sort of do with half an eye on it in the background. It's nice to base.
Pillage mode.
Okay, so pillage mode. Irritating, and he's going to pillage a lot, but I think he's on pretty low health.
Well, he's got no armor, so he should be easy to take. So I'm going to use my again.
So this should either kill him or so now his health is only 3, which means that his attack power is also reduced. There are no stars in the horn. That's your willpower. Gain enemies to defeat enemies to gain stars.
There we go. Just surround him. I don't think he has much of a choice.
This poor little brave dredge.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
This circle of enemies around him. In some ways, a tragic hero, I think, to the whole game, really.
Yeah. Bye, Dredgy. Okay, that's him taken out.
You take a moment to.
Well, we won't do the additional people, but that was the Banner Saga. An excellent game. Really can't recommend it enough. If you like the sort of strategy, tactical, fighting simulator.
If you absolutely hate strategy,
probably
tactical games, then
but it's bolstered by great story and wonderful artwork. So give it a try. I'm Rickbull, and this is Stuart Young, and this is the actionpixel.com. So keep it locked here.
And don't set up a camp or make a fire. We'll take a look and then get out of here before anything else goes wrong.
You mean?
No, he's got a little meanie voice.
You mean war?